Is intermittent fasting safe after 70? A doctor explains the pros and cons. Have you ever wondered if intermittent fasting is something you can safely try after 70? Maybe you've heard it's great for energy, weight management, or even longevity, but you're wondering, is this really for me at this stage of life? I get it, change can feel daunting, especially when it comes to your health. But here's the good news, you're never too old to explore new ways to feel vibrant and strong. Hi, I'm Dr. Your name, and today we're diving into whether intermittent fasting is safe and beneficial for seniors like. Stick with me because I'm going to break down the pros, the cons, and exactly what you need to know to make the best choice for your health. This topic is so important because as we age, we want to stay energized, keep our minds sharp, and enjoy life to the fullest. Intermittent fasting isn't just a trend, it's a lifestyle choice that might help with that, but it's not one size fits all. In this video, we'll explore what intermittent fasting really is, how it can benefit you, and what to watch out for if you're over 70. Let's get started with the basics and a couple of key benefits you'll want to know about. Point 1. What is intermittent fasting and why does it matter for seniors? So, what exactly is intermittent fasting? Simply put, it's not about what you eat but when you eat. It involves cycling between periods of eating and not eating. For example, you might eat during an 8-hour window, like from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and fast for the other 16 hours. Or maybe you try the 5:2 method, where you eat normally 5 days a week and cut back calories on 2 non-consecutive days. Sounds simple, right? But here's why it matters for you. As we age, our metabolism slows, our energy levels can dip, and things like blood sugar or heart health become bigger priorities. Intermittent fasting might help with those, but we need to approach it carefully. Let me share a quick story. I had a patient, Joan, who's 72. She was curious about fasting because she felt sluggish and wanted to manage her weight without strict diets. After talking it through, we started her on a gentle fasting plan, 12 hours of fasting overnight, which is basically just skipping late-night snacks. Within a few weeks, she noticed more energy and even lost a couple of pounds. That's the kind of practical approach we'll talk about today, one that fits your life. Point 2. Boosting energy and mental clarity. Let's talk about one of the biggest benefits of intermittent fasting, energy and mental clarity. As we get older, it's normal to feel a bit foggy sometimes or notice dips in energy. Fasting can help because it gives your body a break from constantly digesting food. When you fast, your body starts using stored energy, which can stabilize blood sugar and reduce those mid-afternoon slumps. Plus, some studies show fasting might support brain health by promoting something called autophagy. Think of it as your body's way of cleaning out old cells to make room for new ones. For example, think about Tom, a 75-year-old retired teacher I worked with. He started a 14-10 fasting schedule, eating between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. He told me he felt sharper during his morning walks and even started enjoying his hobbies like painting again. The key here is starting small and listening to your body. If you're curious about trying this, you could begin with a 12-hour fast. Just finish dinner by 7 p.m. and don't eat again until 7 a.m. It's a gentle way to test the waters. Point 3. Supporting heart health. Another big win with intermittent fasting is how it might help your heart. Heart health is so important as we age, and fasting can improve things like cholesterol levels and blood pressure for some people. Research shows that intermittent fasting can lower LDL, or bad cholesterol, and reduce inflammation, which is a big driver of heart issues. But here's the catch. It's not a magic bullet, and it works best when paired with healthy eating. Let's look at Susan, a 68-year-old who came to me worried about her cholesterol. She didn't want more medication, so we discussed fasting. She tried the 5:2 method, eating normally 5 days and cutting back to about 500 calories on 2 days. After a few months, her cholesterol dropped, and she felt more in control of her health. The trick? She focused on heart-healthy foods like veggies, nuts, and fish during her eating windows. If you're thinking about fasting for your heart, talk to your doctor first, especially if you're on meds or have conditions like diabetes. Let's look at Susan, a 68-year-old who came to me worried about her cholesterol. She didn't want more medication, so we discussed fasting. She tried the 5:2 method, eating normally 5 days and cutting back to about 500 calories on 2 days. After a few months, her cholesterol dropped, and she felt more in control of her health. The trick? She focused on heart-healthy foods like veggies, nuts, and fish during her eating windows. If you're thinking about fasting for your heart, talk to your doctor first, especially if you're on meds or have conditions like diabetes. Hey there, welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're diving into whether intermittent fasting is safe and beneficial for those of us over 70. In part 1, we talked about what intermittent fasting is, how it can boost your energy and mental clarity, and even support your heart health. Today we're going deeper. looking at a few more benefits but also some important things to watch out for. I'm Dr. 996, and I'm here to guide you with practical real-life tips to help you decide if fasting might be right for you. Let's jump in. Point 1. Weight management without crash diets. Alright, let's talk about something a lot of us think about as we age: managing our weight. It's no secret that metabolism slows down after 70, and those extra pounds can creep up, making us feel less like ourselves. Intermittent fasting can be a game changer here because it's not about starving yourself or following some crazy restrictive diet. Instead, it's about giving your body a structured break from food, which can help you eat fewer calories overall without feeling deprived. I had a patient, Robert, who's 71 and loves his weekly hikes. He started fasting with the 5:2 method, eating normally most days but cutting back to 600 calories on 2 days a week. He told me he feels stronger on his hikes and even sleeps better. Studies back this up. Fasting may lower markers of aging like oxidative stress. But here's the key: don't overdo it. If you're curious about fasting for longevity, talk to your doctor to make sure it fits with your health goals. And start slow. You don't need to jump into long fasts right away. Actionable tip: try this. Pick one day a week to eat lighter. Maybe stick to 500 to 600 calories with simple meals like veggie soup or a small portion of fish and greens. It's a gentle way to ease into fasting and see how your body responds. Point 3. Risk of nutrient deficiencies. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about something really important: the potential downsides. Intermittent fasting can be great, but it's not perfect for everyone, especially after 70. One big concern is nutrient deficiencies. As we age, our bodies need enough vitamins, minerals, and protein to keep our bones strong, our muscles healthy, and our immune system in check. If you're fasting and not eating enough nutrient-rich foods during your eating window, you could miss out on what your body needs. For example, I worked with a patient, Helen, who's 69. She tried fasting but was skipping breakfast and then eating mostly snacks like crackers or sweets in her eating window. She started feeling tired and weak because she wasn't getting enough protein or vitamins. We adjusted her plan to include balanced meals, like eggs with spinach or yogurt with fruit, and she felt so much better. If you're fasting, make sure your meals are packed with nutrients. Think of it like fueling a car. You need the good stuff to keep going. Actionable tip: here's what you can do. Plan your eating window ahead of time. Make a list of foods rich in protein, calcium, and fiber, like dairy, lean meats, beans, or leafy greens. And if you're on medications or have health conditions, check with your doctor to make sure fasting won't affect your nutrient absorption. A doctor explains the pros and cons. Welcome back to our final part on whether intermittent fasting is safe after 70. I'm Doctor, your name, and if you've been with us, you know we've covered a lot already: how fasting can boost energy, support heart health, help with weight management, and maybe even promote longevity. We also talked about the risk of nutrient deficiencies, which is super important to keep in mind. Today we're wrapping things up with a couple more pros and cons, plus some practical tips to make fasting work for you, or decide if it's not your thing. Let's dive in and finish strong. Point 1. Improved blood sugar control. Let's start with another big benefit. Intermittent fasting might help you manage your blood sugar. As we age, keeping blood sugar steady becomes a bigger deal, especially if you're dealing with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. Fasting can give your body a break from constant insulin spikes, which happen when we're eating all day long. Studies show that intermittent fasting can improve insulin sensitivity, meaning your body uses insulin more effectively to keep blood sugar in check. I had a patient, Margaret, who's 73 and was worried about her blood sugar creeping up. She wasn't ready for medication, so we tried a 14-10 fasting schedule, eating from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. She paired it with balanced meals, like oatmeal with berries for breakfast and grilled chicken with veggies for dinner. After a few weeks, her blood sugar readings were more stable, and she felt more in control. Now, if you're on diabetes meds, this is crucial. Talk to your doctor before trying fasting because it can affect how your medications work. Actionable tip: want to try this? Start with a 12-hour fast, like finishing dinner by 7 p.m. and eating breakfast at 7 a.m. Focus on low-glycemic foods during your eating window, like whole grains, veggies, and lean proteins. And always monitor how you feel. Fasting shouldn't leave you shaky or tired. Point 2. Potential medication interactions. Now let's talk about a big caution: medications. If you're over 70, chances are you're taking at least one medication, maybe for blood pressure, cholesterol, or diabetes. Intermittent fasting can change how your body absorbs or processes these meds, which could make them less effective or cause side effects. For example, some medications need to be taken with food to work properly or to avoid stomach upset. Take my patient George, who's 70 and on blood pressure meds. He wanted to try fasting but noticed he felt dizzy when he skipped breakfast. Turns out, his medication needed food to absorb properly. We adjusted his fasting schedule to include a small morning meal, and he felt much better. The lesson? Always check with your doctor or pharmacist before starting fasting, especially if you're on meds for chronic conditions. They can help you tweak your schedule to stay safe. Actionable tip. Here's what to do. Make a list of all your medications and their instructions. Do they need food or are they time sensitive? Share this with your doctor and ask how fasting might affect them. A shorter fasting window, like 12 or 14 hours, might be a safer starting point. Point 3. Hunger and energy dips. One last thing to watch out for: hunger and low energy. Fasting can be tough at first, and if you're not used to it, you might feel hungry, irritable, or just plain worn out. This is especially true for seniors since our bodies might not bounce back as quickly. If fasting makes you feel weak or affects your daily routine, like enjoying time with grandkids or your morning walk, it might not be the right fit. I worked with a patient, Linda, who's 74. She tried a 16:8 fasting schedule but found herself too hungry by mid-morning, which made her cranky. We scaled back to a 12-hour fast and she added a protein-rich snack like Greek yogurt during her eating window. That did the trick. She felt energized without the hunger pangs. If you're feeling hungry while fasting, listen to your body. It's okay to ease into it or try a less strict approach. Actionable tip. If hunger hits, try drinking water or herbal tea first. It can help. If that doesn't work, have a small nutrient-dense snack like a handful of nuts or a piece of fruit. And don't be afraid to adjust your fasting window, maybe 12 hours instead of 16, to see what feels best. Conclusion. So, there you have it, the pros and cons of intermittent fasting after 70. It can boost energy, support your heart, help with weight and blood sugar, and maybe even add a little spark to your longevity. But you've got to be mindful of nutrient deficiencies, medication interactions, and how your body feels. The key is to start small, listen to your body, and always check with your doctor first. You're not just aging, you're thriving, and small changes like this can help you feel your best. If you found this helpful, give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more people like you. Drop a comment below and let me know. Have you tried fasting or are you thinking about it? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next video with more tips to live your healthiest life. You've got this, and I'm cheering you on every step of the way.